Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Mexi here once again, and I'm back for yet again for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Nintendo Switch. So, last time, this place is gonna be quite boiling around here, but I'm sure we're able to get the gist of it because, as to be expected, this place is going to be filled to the brim with lava and stuff like that. So, anyway, enough about that. Last time, we have essentially managed to able to 100% through everything in terms of the forms of original Wasteland, despite the fact that we have to replay through those two levels twice by the forms of, you know, trying to deal with the forms of Silly, Adillo, and as well as from that, I also did manage to able to collect some more rare stones during the course of the treasure roads and all that stuff. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. So today, for this video, is the fact that we're going to be moving on to the 6th world in this game, which appears to be by the forms of Redgar, Forbidden Lands. So, and to begin with, let's head into the first level in this world, which appears to be Enter the Furry Forbidden Lands. I think that's what the level itself is called anyway. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started right here. So, man, this place is gonna be quite massive, all things considered, of how expanded how this place is actually gonna look. So, anyways, let's begin, shall we? So, anyway, a few things I want to explain for this place today is the fact that first things first though, is the fact that my voice is still a bit croaked up, but good news guys is the fact that I'm pretty sure I'm almost going to be feeling twice as better. So either way though, that hopefully that the actual amount of commentary stuff won't be nearly as awkward as the forms of how it does on the previous two parts. What I would say about the fact that on the 5th world so far in this Let's Play, I will say that that is by far the most awkward thing in this Let's Play so far, from my experience anyway, along with the forms of it in a 3rd board in Mario Party 8 sometimes. But hopefully though, that for this particular world, as far as this is concerned, I'm hoping that my commentary doesn't go nearly as awkward as the previous two parts. So, just because about the fact that I just feel a bit rough around the edges, as to be expected by this point. So anyways, let's grab this capsule right here, so that way we can get ourselves another figurine, if possible. So, yeah, a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 20th of April today, in this case in 2022 today. Not much else to talk about, I'm afraid, apart from the fact that as far as what Sonic has already mentioned about, at least ever since in WarioWare Twisted Let's Play, that recently we actually got ourselves our new piece of artwork based off from the forms of the upcoming compilation game, which appears to be Sonic Origins. And for I've seen the actual promotional art of the game, well, at least it's been leaked so far, I will say it does look very similar to the forms of Sonic Mania / Sonic Mania Plus, except the fact that the biggest difference is this time is the fact that it does no longer contain Mighty the Armadillo or Ray the Flying Squirrel, unlike in Sonic Mania Plus. So instead, that we actually got ourselves Classic Sonic, Classic Tails, Classic Knuckles, in addition to Metal Sonic, and Amy Rose, aka, you know, Sally from, you know, from the old days. So because of that though, yeah, relatively speaking, and also we actually got ourselves the actual cool, image of Dr. Robotnik at the back. So it's pretty obvious because it obviously contains every single classic Sonic games on this entire compilation. The only exceptions are, let's just say Knuckles Chaotix or the rest of the Game Gear titles, because I'm pretty sure they're most likely focusing on the most popular and recognizable 2D Sonic games. So, because to be expected about the fact that these games are usually the most super popular compared to the forms of how it does it on some other obscure titles here and there, like Sonic 3D Blast or Sonic Spinball or Knuckles Chaotix, like I said before. But either way though, it would be interesting to be able to actually include Knuckles Chaotix if possible, but it doesn't seem that's usually is gonna happen, so excuse me, I got something in my throat there, I do apologize for that. So, oh yeah, and also we're now able to come across into ourselves these red capsules, which I'm assuming to you that we will come across into something related to Volume 3 when it comes to those figurines and all that stuff though, so yeah, to be expected by this point, so... And also another thing I want to explain about for this point, as far as this is concerned, about the fact that, yeah, I recently got back onto Mario Kart Tour again because of the forms of the new tour just came up, which, that's what appears to be by the forms of the Alstrom tour, which I will say, it is alright. I mean, usually, relatively speaking, I was expecting that I was able to get something, like, quite valuable when it comes to likely for character roster and stuff like that. But nope, I just got screwed over all over again because all I'm getting is just a big fat of useless nothing. Well, aside from the fact that it might be good for leveling up, but aside from that, it just feels kind of useless what I keep on getting. Like, you know, the usual common stuff. And as well as from that though, that I was expecting if I was going to be able to get the alternative costume for Rosalina and stuff like that, but all I'm getting is just a level up of Peach and Wintertime outfit, which is okay I guess, but either way though, I was expecting to be able to have something a bit more, than that. But, oh well, no big deal, but at the very least we can able to actually just, oh jeez Louise. So yeah, you probably get the idea of how this world's gonna turn out, is the fact that it's gonna be a lava-themed level as to be expected, so, and of course, if you dare touch the lava, well, basically, then you just fall off and then you just lose a bit of your health. Because, gotta think about it, that unlike in any other Kirby games, is the fact that you don't die instantly if you fell off the stage this time around, which I guess is like a good thing, especially noticeable, although despite the fact that the difficulty has been, you know, reduced to very easy and stuff like that. Well, at least assuming if some people keep on saying about the fact that maybe this game will able to receive DLC and stuff like that in the future, it's able to actually include hardcore mode or something like that, but either way though, we'll have to wait and see what happens in due time, so... Anyway, and in this particular mission objective, as you can see on screen, that basically we have to use the water balloon mouthful Kirby ability because we need to actually just to destroy those specific fireballs coming from the skies above. But if you miss any of them, you will fail this. So yeah, but good thing I did manage to able to react to it so fast. So that way, in addition to able to actually get ourselves our next Waddle Dee, but also another one while simply just trying to able to activate the drill ability. So pretty easy if you get the hang of it though, but whenever I managed to able to first time I played this level on my own time, that I just seemed to go confused at first. But regardless of such though, thankfully it actually did took me about, I would say, 1 attempt for this particular recording session, so there we go. That pretty much concludes this particular level. Not too bad, at least as far as you might as well get used to with the forms of how the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that's as far as I can usually try to say about this level, so... Oh wow, we got ourselves the stairs, and even especially noticeable with the Wanderer statue, and the switch target, so... How's that for that? So, another thing I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that, recently we actually got ourselves some more info on... Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Because the reason why I bring these out is because, well, I'll get to more details about that as soon as we're able to dive right into this next level. So, in this case, let's see where we go in here. We got ourselves some more portals to go to. So, in this case, though, before we dive right into the next level, let me just hover around for a bit and then double check on certain spots to see if how we can able to find another selections of those Treasure Road portals, which we did found one just already. Anyway, enough about that, so let's move on to conquer the Inferno Road. Oh, an interesting level's name. So, although before we deal with all that though, I need to quickly go ahead and just try to sort something out first for the Waddle Dee town and stuff like that, so just in case I can able to actually just to guarantee to able to do, well, let's just say upgrade my storage, or in this case just try to able to switch things over for a bit with that particular copy ability and stuff like that. Like, for example, as you can tell, I've recently managed to able to switch my Time Crash into regular Crash ability, because I get the strong sense of feeling that one of those mission objectives will able to actually requires us to able to actually use the Crash ability in order to able to deal with that specific mini fight. So yeah, because that might be something I would classify for mentioning about that stuff. So anyway, let's begin, shall we? So although we'll save that for later, so in this case though, we'll keep on moving and stuff like that, for that nature. And oh yeah, we need to grab some of these food snacks from those specific segments here. So at the very least, that's something we need to keep an eye out for. So yeah, at this point in time is the fact that I'm pretty sure we're almost at the halfway point in terms of this particular game already. So as a result though, that since that despite the fact that we actually did manage to win for the game quite fast, while some other times though that certain progression might get a bit slightly slower sometimes, because obviously with the forms of mission objectives we have to able to do, and on top of all that stuff though, my capture preview footage can sometimes once again lag sometimes, but thankfully it doesn't lag that much though just yet though, but eventually it will be, so I digress. So anyway, and something is worth noting for the sake of the forms of today's videos as far as just, you know, discussion goes, recently we got ourselves some more news and updates for the sake of the forms of some other titles, such as for instance, for example, that basically we've now finally got ourselves the actual release date for Digimon Survive, and this time it's going to be releasing at some point in this year, which is truly definite, and it appears to me it's going to be releasing until specifically this July. So yeah, about time to able to actually now finally have the release date for Digimon Survive. So yeah, about time to able to actually finally get the release date for that game after countless amount of delays and also just anything else to be more specific. So yeah, pretty awesome to able to actually finally get the game as in the forms of the release date department. So pretty awesome, all things considered. So, and speaking of July though, is the fact that for out of nowhere, about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that recently Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got a new trailer as well as the forms of the special edition pack. In addition to that though, a new release date for the likes of the forms of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And this time, originally, it was expected able to release at some point during this September, but apparently they decided able to actually push the game forward until specifically in this July. And that would be my problematic in my opinion, just because I just get the feeling that the actual release date is a bit rushed in my opinion, just because, well, sometimes usually in some other games can take some bit of time to able to actually just to complete, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that we're still waiting for the forms of Splatoon 3 or Mario Plus Rapid Sparks of Hope to be able to be coming. And in addition to that though, is the fact that I can assure you we've only got about a few more days to go until specifically we're able to get ourselves the actual, you know, Mario Strikers Battle League football game. So, well, we're at least expecting that we're able to actually be more excited for that. But, I digress. So yeah, as a result of that kind of stuff though, is the fact that it looks like that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has now been charged by the forms of the summer's releases. So yeah, a bit different to be more specific though, but it's just the fact that I just really wish if the forms of how the fact that Splatoon 3 might be in there. But nope, instead we got ourselves Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I know that you guys are probably thinking about the fact that, dude, do you really care for this series that much? Well, I don't mind the first game, but it's just the fact that it's not my cup of tea when it comes to the forms of JRPGs and all that stuff though. I mean, I guess it's fine for the most part, but I just get a horrible feeling about the fact that this particular release date for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 just feels a bit too rushed in my opinion, so... But, I guess it's fine, I guess, like I said, but at least it certainly is a bit more better than the, you know, you get out to wait for a long period of time for about likely a couple of months later, so... Yeah, I might be biased when it comes to the forms of some other Switch titles as far as that's been concerned with. So, because, you know, I'm still waiting for, you know, to hopefully try to pre-order Mario Strikers Battle League Football, so that way I can able to enjoy my time playing the game during the summer. And on top of all that stuff though, the Klonoa remaster from the likes of the forms of the first game and the second game remastered on the Switch. So, along with the forms of Sonic Origins, assuming if the actual release date will pop up, or even especially noticeable with the actual gameplay trailer they were able to reveal. But we'll just see what happens during at certain points throughout for the majority of the forms of this month in particular, or maybe next month, if assuming if the Sonic Central Direct might actually show up in a certain scenarios worth noting for. But again, we'll just see what happens there. Anyway, so let's go ahead and keep on moving, and actually, let me quickly hit back because I need to destroy those star blocks, so just in case I need able to get rid of those specific cannons, so that way we don't want to get hit so many times by the forms of those cannon shots. Oh jeez, that was close. I almost got to fall off right there, but yeah, regardless of anything else though, it's just the fact that that's as far as I can usually try to discuss upon today, because, well, again, I won't stress this enough, I don't mind the forms of how the fact that with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gets its early release date, but my only major criticism with that release date in mind is that it just feels kind of rushed, at least in my opinion. So, but again, I might be biased when it comes to those specific stuff, although I'm sure that most fans will be very excited able to actually expect to get the game way more earlier than originated, which appears to be on September's release. So yeah, I guess that's that, I suppose. But I'm still expecting to able to actually hoping to see Splatoon 3 might get its new release date or something, but I get a strong sense of feeling it might actually be delayed for a little longer. So because of that though, yeah, I just have no idea why I just managed to able to become a little bit biased when it comes to certain stuff like this. So, oh well, it's not the end of the world, honestly. I mean, surely that some other fans will be very excited able to, you know, be very excited when Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gets its early release date and stuff like that. So, understandably so, but it's not my cup of tea in my opinion. So, anyways, let's hop onto this boat so that way we can able to just, you know, go around in the lava, and then basically we can able to actually just to get all kinds of stuff here and there, such as for instance the last Waddle Dee was in here. So in this case though, we've actually found every single of those hidden Waddle Dees on that particular mission objective. And speaking of such though, I get the strong sense of feeling that another one of those mission objectives we can probably able to expect to see what's going to be up. That's what appears to be trying to able to actually, I would say, activating every single windmill parts. So, and if it does, then we can expect that we can able to actually get ourselves another Waddle Dee from here. So, yeah, you probably get the idea about that. And I do apologize for that sniffy nose in the background again. But don't worry though, I'm gonna be almost feel entirely better during later on though. Well, not 100% just yet though. So hopefully I'll get past by the forms of that stupid C positive thing. So because of that though, I was hoping I'll get a you know, the actual COVID negative during the next few days coming up. So, especially noticeable with the forms of if I was going to able to head back onto Mario Party 8 until whenever we get into my favorite board in the game, which appears to be Shy Guy's Perplexed Express. Without discussion of that will be expected coming during at some point this weekend. So, there we go. And also we've managed able to get ourselves our next blueprint, which this time is going to be involved around in a Space Ranger. You know, the actual the Kirby ability upgrade. So pretty cool though. Even though it always kind of reminds me like a Space Ranger, like Buzz Lightyear and stuff like that. But either way though, sure enough, it's pretty cool to able to actually have a Space Ranger outfit cosmetic wise. Well, at least as far as I can usually try to describe it, I guess. But there we go. We've managed to rescue another selections of those Waddle Dees from here, and of course we can able to actually access to other two portals just like before. So yeah, let us move on, shall we? On to Burning Chromium Power Plant. So kind of an interesting levels name here. Okay, if you couldn't tell already, this is my second attempt for this level, because as you can see on screen, I recently managed to able to regenerate my health. Well, that's only mainly because I somehow managed to able to actually accidentally went back onto Waddle Dee Town for a bit, so that way I can able to regenerate my health from the likes of Kirby's house to able to take a nap from. And as a result though, that I somehow managed to able to got screwed over by that one specific objectives that I wasn't expecting, that I didn't pay attention to. That's what appears to be about the fact that in order to able to get one of those Waddle Dees on this particular level when it comes to the mission objectives wise, is the fact that you can't afford to get squished once. Either the forms of those shifting walls or smashed compactors, and that's pretty much as far as I can usually try to describe about that particular objective. So yeah, because as a result though, this is my second attempt for this level, so that's why I'm essentially gonna have to able to do this level again. So but hopefully though, it won't be that much of a troublesome, I guess. But either way though, for the most part, it's just the fact that sometimes the mission objectives can be traumatizing sometimes. I won't have to admit it though right away, but I digress. So yeah, when it comes to the forms of another discussions to make, when it comes to the forms of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, well, in addition with the fact that we actually got ourselves a new release date, which like I said, it's going to be on July this time as opposed to September, but also we get ourselves the reveal of the special edition pack, which obviously contains not only the game itself, but also the artwork and the steelbook, and that's pretty much about it. Similar to the forms of how it does it on, you know, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and now we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So it's like 3 games in an entire series onto this one amazing platform, which appears to be on the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty impressive so far. Well, the only exception being the forms of Xenoblade Chronicles X, because it's still going to be on the Wii U for the longest amount of time. So as a result though, I highly doubt it might not likely going to be on the Switch or something like that, and we have no idea. Well, that's only mainly because I haven't found out the forms of those specific rumors or something like that. Oh, speaking of rumors though, is the fact that apparently though, when it comes to other rumors they actually showed ourselves, that's what appears to be by the forms of, I would say, certain Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games, and possibly Game Boy Advance games as well, might possibly able to actually come onto the Switch Online membership service at some point in the future. But again, it's all about rumors, and especially noticeable because usually rumors or leaks can be a grain of salt. So, to be expected when it comes to the forms of certain discussions about the fact that with all that rumors and leaks and stuff like that can sometimes fake you out, and it's not very fun if you manage to able to get triggered by, you know, fake rumors and stuff like that, which is possibly understandable because, well, it's just the fact that some people really don't like the idea about the fact that with fake news and all that stuff, they'll just pop up all over the place, and it's just the fact that it might actually get pretty tiring and also tedious as well. Sometimes, if you manage to able to actually stumble across rumors or leaks or anything else like that. So, anyways, let's grab some more star coins for me for this point right here. So, yeah, I really love the fact that this place usually takes place in a factory facility, which, kind of think about it, it does remind me of a similar kind of level as in the forms of how it does it on Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards for a bit, with Shiver Star and stuff like that, when you try to go and explore for the actual, the factory facility kind of place. But except the fact that this time it's in HD on the Nintendo Switch, so, but we're still gonna be able to expect to think that I have no idea when does the Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, might actually able to actually come onto the Switch Online membership services, but we'll just see what happens there, and during at some point in the next couple of days, for, to be more specifically, in the majority of April, along with the forms of maybe a possibility of, the Nintendo Direct presents Kirby's 30th Anniversary Direct or something like that. Well, at least we haven't heard about it yet, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, it seems it's so strange about the fact that we not actually got any new info about the forms of the new ND World presentations yet, which, still, it's a bit odd to able to actually not have that particular direct for such a long time after the events of December last year. So yeah, I've honestly have no idea why they just managed to able to actually, like, well, it's hard to say. So anyways, let's go for these little specific rectangular holes to able to actually fit through it. And also, we can able to actually just quickly switch over to Cone Kirby, so that way we can able to fit through that triangle hole. And then next you know, we're able to get something down there. Like the treasure chest contains, of course, the next Waddle Dee. And eventually, we're able to get ourselves our last Waddle Dee on this level, for the likes of, you know, trying to complete the level without getting squished or crushed. So, thankfully we've somehow didn't get crushed so far. So, there we go, we've completed this entire level, like, no sweat. So, that's all for that. And sure enough, yeah, it's that fact that you don't want to get squished, so there we go. So we got ourselves the pencil drill figurine, as well as Squishy and Shuzer, or Suzu. I guess it's what that specific canon's enemy's name was. Even though, yeah, it's been about 2 days ago since I actually last played this. So despite the fact that I was a bit rough around the edges in the past, but then again, like I said, hopefully in the next couple of days, I should be able to actually make myself a little bit more better this time. So, and thankfully though, the commentary goes by a little bit more better than the forms of how it does it on the previous parts on this, because for the love of God, my commentary on the previous part is so awful and awkward at the same time. That's only mainly because of there's also another reason why somehow my videos views for this particular Let's Play so far somehow feels a bit quite lower in comparison. Well, mind you, that's only mainly because about the fact that I was a little bit rough around the edges, as you'd probably expect, so. Anyways, let's hop over to see Waddle Dee again, for able to actually just give him another blueprint for the likes of Deep Sleep ability. So, yeah, apparently we're getting ourselves the actual upgrade for the likes of the sleep ability. Despite it's useless, but thankfully though in this game is the fact that it actually helps you this time for able to regenerate your health. That's pretty much about it this time, so at least that's a good thing, so. And there we go, we're actually able to get ourselves the Space Ranger ability. So that way we can now able to actually just to shoot stuff faster and stuff like that. Well, despite the fact that, actually, let me double check of how many rare stones I've got, even though, mind you, I basically run out of those rare stones. So, hopefully we'll get some more until whenever we decide able to actually upgrade ourselves the Deep Sleep ability, so we can able to actually save that specific stuff for later. So for now on though, before we end off the video, let me just go ahead and find another rare stone, which appears to be up in that particular weapon shop building. And before we do with all that stuff though, let me go ahead and deal with the Colosseum for a bit. Because, since this video is going to be almost twice as short, so I figure I was able to do this particular Colosseum thing until now. So basically, we'll decide able to take on the Mennonite Cup. So, in this case though, let's enter in. Cause yeah, kind of think about it though, think of like the forms of the arenas from the likes of the forms of the past Kirby games, except the fact that I'm presuming to you that this game will actually evolve around in 3 different boss arenas this time around. So I'm guessing that the first counterpart of this particular Colosseum, or in this case arena, is going to be most likely focusing on the bosses, ranging from several mini bosses that we've already fight against, ranging from the forms of Frosty, or you know, Bunkers, Wild Edge, including by the forms of that particular Tornado mini fight, and on top of all that stuff though, the first 3 bosses basically. So yeah, it doesn't seem that it's going to be that long though, so it's going to be relatively short, so. And also we were able to come across into ourselves our familiar boss from the likes of the forms of ever since in Kirby's Adventure, which I'm sure most people already know was to be expected. And then here, yeah, that might be expected able to notice that we might actually fight against with Mennonite after we're done with those other bosses first, so. So yeah, just like in several other arenas from the past Kirby games, is the fact that you were obviously able to fight against with any other bosses that you've already fought from before, except the biggest difference is this time is the fact that we actually got ourselves a time limit that's actually increasing. So, because relatively speaking, if you ever played any other previous arenas before, in the past Kirby games, since Kirby Superstar, then basically though is the fact that you feel right at home. Especially noticeable about the fact that you obviously get revealed items here, such as for instance with maximum tomatoes, and then if you somehow manage to obtain one of those maximum tomatoes, then basically if it actually get replaced by you know what I mean with that particular mini tomato food. So yeah, you probably get the idea about that. And what makes this particular boss arena kind of Colosseum like this is actually going to be super easy this time is the fact that with all that fully upgraded copy abilities in mind, that taking down those boss fights will be a lot more easier to manage than the likes of how it does it on the past games. So yeah, that might be something worth a while to able to actually just to notice in this from the get-go. So anyway, since that we already taken down Tropic Woods already, so there's nothing issues from here. So now we can able to take down this familiar gorilla fight. So we can able to expect to take him down very easily with the actual Dragon Fire ability. So we can able to accept that. Oh yeah, and also during the forms of in tomorrow, that I'm also able to try my best to able to actually get myself the final character based off from the likes of the Sonic movie series for the likes of Sonic Dash, which hopefully I'll get myself Longclaw, which I know technically back in forms of about 2 years ago, that since that I somehow accidentally managed to able to miss out on, you know what I mean, when it comes to likely getting Longclaw. Well, that's only mainly because about the fact that I have to deal with these very, very rubbish, limited gigabyte storage for, you know, my phone back in the day, which just appears to be iPhone 6, the original, with less gigabytes, so... But, you know, thankfully though is the fact that I can able to actually just manage iPhone 8, which feels a lot more better than it feels of how it does on my previous phone and stuff like that, so... But anyway, enough about that specific distraction, and I think that's as far as I can say about the forms of today's discussion, because, well, apart from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, about the fact that, well, I'm just felt quite excited for certain scenarios, but some other times, though, that I wasn't exactly surprised by it, so either way, though, we'll just, gonna have to leave it to that, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and take on the last battle in this particular Mennonite Cup, which hopefully we'll fight against with Mennonite. So, and I get the feeling, yeah, once again we have to grab this sword, so just in case before you start the battle, or maybe you can able to actually just, well, whatever, at least we can able to take on the Mennonite himself. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to able to actually, you can able to actually fight against with Mennonite in 3D. So, pretty awesome actually. So, either way though, that's, relatively speaking, all you have to do is just keep on attacking him and hope for the best, and that's pretty much as far as this is concerned. So, yeah, not much else to say about this fight, it's just the fact that, well, it can be pretty easy this time, as opposed to the likes of how it does in all the previous games, because like I said, that what makes the actual arenas in this game will be a lot easier to manage, is the fact that with the forms of the upgrade system. So, yeah, to make the game a lot more easy to manage, so... Oh god, we got to avoid those rocks coming from the skies above. And of course, that's every once in a while though, is the fact that he will start to get a bit tricky to able to actually just try to avoid, because sometimes he can be fast at points. But either way though, it's not too bad, all things considered, for the entire boss fight itself. So, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! Come here, come here. Oh, damn it, I think I'm gonna get hit a lot. And of course, just like it involves of how it does it on any other arenas from the past Kirby games, if you run out of your health, then obviously you get kicked out of this entire arena, so... Or the entire cup, I should say, so... But there we go, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for, I would say, one of the easiest in terms of those cups in the game for the likes of those Colosseum modes or something like that. So, and after when you're pretty much done with the forms of the entire cup, you're able to be rewarded with not only tons of star coins, but also just another rare stone, and also another blueprint, which this time is going to be the Mennonite sword blueprint. So at the very least we can able to upgrade that, but I think I might not upgrade it just yet though, or actually kind of thinking about it, I might as well will be, so... But we'll just see what happens there, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, I'm pretty much running out of time, so I think I should probably upgrade those later. So, yeah, with that being said though, we're at the endings of this point right here, so join me next time for more of Let's Play of Kirby in a Forgotten Land. That is the fact that we'll pretty much get out to continue things on in World 6, and hopefully get some more redstones to get some more upgrades. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Later, fellas.